Hello, planty people. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Darylyn, and today we have some very exciting things to go over. Primarily the winner of the giveaway. So we will get to that in a second. I have a little bit of channel business to go over, and then we will be discussing the joys of a small plant collection. Now, if you're not interested in the channel business or you're watching this like way in the future, I will go ahead and list the timestamp of where all of this nonsense is finished so you can skip ahead. But for those of you for whom this is still relevant, let's get into the channel business really quick. Okay, really quickly, FYI, I just wanted to let everybody know that I went through and reorganized a lot of my playlists. So if you are looking to just binge watch plant chores and repot with me videos, there's a playlist for that. If you are really into the plant talk series where I just rattle off my opinions about things, there's a playlist for that. If you really like the videos where I just show tons and tons of plants, there's a playlist for that. And, you know, same thing with plant hauls and things like that. So if you're interested, go take a look at that. So the second thing I just wanted to let everybody know is that I would really like to interact with you guys more. I get comments all the time where people tell me about their plants, and I'm always like, tag me, I want to see your plants. I want to see your plants. Like, I really do. I really think that the whole point of the online plant community is sharing our plants. So you guys get to see mine all the time. I want to see yours. So please, let's start using the hashtag plant friend down the street. Just hashtag plant friend down the street on Instagram. And I'm going to start going into that hashtag like on a semi-regular basis and checking out your plants. So please, 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 if you have something cool or you mention something to me, if you post it on Instagram, please use the hashtag plant friend down the street so that I can see it too, because I really love seeing other people's plants because I'm nosy and it's just more fun, you know, to make it a little bit less of a one-way street. I would love to actually get to see what all of you guys are growing and what your collections are up to. So please use that hashtag if you'd like me to see something, because I'm gonna try really hard to be in there every couple of days at least and checking it out. Okay, so the final piece of channel business that we have for today is I am finally announcing the winner of the giveaway for 1,000 subscribers. Again, thank you so much to everybody who's new to the channel, who subscribed during the giveaway, and especially to the people who've been subscribed since way before the giveaway. You guys are the OG best. So yeah, we have a winner today, and the winner of the giveaway for the 5 baby plants is Robin Jennings. So everybody please join me in congratulating Robin. It was not a hard decision because it was randomly generated. So regardless, it's always fun to win a giveaway. So Robin, if you could please DM me on Instagram, and then just also we'll need to go over, you know, where you would like it shipped and making sure that the weather wherever you're located is warm enough, and, you know, those kinds of other like little pieces of business. So reach out to me, let me know. I'll give you a grace period before I choose someone else, but yeah, looking forward to hearing from you. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get into today's topic, which is the joys of having a small plant collection. Now, I thought that this was actually a very like prescient topic to address because right now it does seem like a trend in the plant community that people are downsizing, people are buying fewer plants, people are trying to sell plants. It's actually a really good time to buy plants if there's anything that anyone's looking for, because prices have come down a lot. But in general, there is a little bit of a trend amongst plant collectors of scaling back, simplifying, and being a little bit more intentional, a little bit more minimalistic about our plant collections. So when I first started in the hobby, my philosophy was very much that I wanted a small collection. I wanted a very curated group of plants that I absolutely loved, and I wanted to grow them big, and that was really what I wanted my focus to be. And then like one thing led to another, and I decided I wanted to sell plants, and I decided I wanted to have a YouTube channel, and then I realized that I actually wanted to try a whole bunch of new things. And it kind of got a little bit out of hand, and now I'm legitimately completely out of space in my house, but that's okay. It happens to the best of us. So if you are currently thinking about scaling back your collection, or you have a small collection and you're trying to decide if you really want to start bringing a lot of things in, here's some things to consider about how nice it really is to have a small plant collection. So the first benefit that I really enjoyed about having a small plant collection was that there was way less clutter. It was so much easier to keep my plants integrated with the rest of the decor in my house back when I had fewer of them. Now, this might seem a little bit obvious because clearly, you know, fewer items, less clutter, but it is so easy to get sidetracked by all the beautiful wish list plants that you see for sale. And it is also really a lot easier said than done to sell a plant on after you've been caring for it for a while, because you probably still like it. And at least for me, I've found it almost impossible to prioritize aesthetic and minimalism and the coherence of my design approach as a whole in a room over plants that are alive, that I've taken care of, and that I like. I can't get rid of them just because, you know, maybe the room as a whole doesn't look as good because there's too many. It's really difficult. So keeping that wish list small and really intentional will definitely help you avoid the conundrum of having tons and tons of plants that you like and are attached to, but just really being unhappy overall with how your space looks. So the second thing that keeping your collection small makes an absolute breeze is plant maintenance. Now, this can encompass anything and everything from watering, cleaning the leaves, keeping the plant in adequate light and humidity, to repotting when it's needed, to pruning and cleaning your shelves, cleaning the areas around your plants, monitoring them for needs like pest control, nutrient deficiencies, fertilizing, basically anything and everything that you could do to keep your plant happy and healthy. It is so much easier when you have fewer plants. And now this may seem really obvious, but I mean, I really don't think that I really appreciated how much more I enjoyed doing plant chores and how much more I enjoyed doing plant projects and taking care of my plants when I had more time to kind of just appreciate them and go at my own pace. Now sometimes I'm really like, okay, I got a list of things, I gotta get them done today, I have this much time, I gotta film it. Sometimes it takes the relaxation, you know, benefit out of it. So keeping your collection small, it's so much easier to keep everything well maintained, and well maintained plants are in all likelihood going to stay more aesthetically pleasing and do better and look healthier. So if you're thinking about expanding your collection significantly, that might be something to consider as well. Dovetailing off of plant maintenance, another thing that is way easier when you have fewer plants is pest control and pest prevention. And this is for a number of reasons. First of all, it goes back to having more time for plant maintenance. When you have fewer plants, you have more time to inspect them, to pay attention to them, to look at their leaves. You have more mental bandwidth to really think about if the little thing that looks funny that's going on with your plant is an issue or not. You also have more time for research, and you probably have more space so that if you do suspect there is an issue, you can easily isolate that plant and hopefully prevent the issue from spreading to other plants if it is something that can spread. Having more space to isolate plants also means that it's a lot easier to be consistent about quarantining anything new that you do decide to bring into your collection. Now, take it from me, I learned this the hard way because last year I brought in a wish list plant that I was absolutely over the moon to have, and you know, I definitely paid pretty penny for. And even though I did quarantine it for 2 weeks, it still gave everything in my house thrips. So having space to isolate things when they are sick or have a pest or they're new to your collection is so much easier when you have fewer plants. So this next item is definitely a sticking point for most people, and that's that a smaller collection saves you tons and tons of money. Now, I'm sure that there are a number of you out there that have what we would like to call maybe mega collections of plants into the triple digits, and these folks will be the first to tell you that it is not cheap to keep collections on this scale. Everything that you spend on a small collection, it adds up in orders of magnitude for larger ones. So things like repotting your plants, more substrates, trying a new growing medium, even just normal everyday, plant staples like perlite, bark, soil, leca and pon, if you use those. You go through it so much faster when you have a huge collection, and that goes double for pest control products. Whenever you have a large collection and you have more plants jammed into a smaller space, if you suspect that you have an issue with pests emerging, you not only have to treat the plant or plants that you suspect that it's already affecting, but you have to treat way more plants preventatively. Pest control materials are not cheap. It takes a lot of time to apply them, and especially since I personally think that the stakes are much higher with pest prevention and pest control when you have more plants in a smaller area of space. You have to not only apply the pest control to more plants, but you have to do it more often. It adds up so fast. When I had thrips, I would go through like an $18 bottle of Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew just to treat my collection one time. And I was having to treat it every couple of days for a long time. I don't even want to think about how much money I spent getting rid of thrips in this house. So it's definitely something to take into consideration if you want to stay on a reasonable budget for your plant collection. The amount of money that you're going to spend is going to increase exponentially, and it's going to include a lot more than just the cost of the plants and the pots and the substrate and whatnot. So definitely something to keep in mind, because getting in over your head with a collection financially, unfortunately, it probably is going to end very badly. Another thing to consider is that when you have a smaller collection, you're going to have space for more mature plants, meaning you're going to be able to bring more of your plants up to the point where you probably saw them and what made you want the plant in the first place. I'm running into this issue right now where I'm running out of space and I don't know where I'm going to put a lot of these plants as they start to mature. Fortunately, I am hopefully planning on moving eventually and I will have more space, but in the meantime, I'm probably going to have to prune some of my plants back and sell them in order to continue to make enough space to keep everything that I don't want to part with. Mature plants are so incredible, and the satisfaction of bringing something up to maturity is one of the best things about the plant hobby. So having more room for bigger plants, I say, is amazing, and having a nice corner full of big mature plants instead of maybe a shelf in the same spot that's full of tiny ones, to me, I like that idea better. But I'm definitely in the position now where I'm going to have to reconfigure some of my spaces in order to allow some of my plants to continue to grow larger. If I still had my small, very scaled back collection that I had maybe, a year and a half ago, I wouldn't be in that position. I would have tons of room to put, moss poles and stake plants up. And, I'm definitely looking to having more space because doing plant projects is something that I'm really excited about in 2022. And then I think last but not least, and this kind of brings everything together full circle, is that if you have a smaller plant collection, you're just gonna have more time and more mental energy to enjoy each plant much more thoroughly. And this is doubly true if you have a busy job, you don't get to work remotely anymore, you're in and out of the house, you have kids, you have pets, you have other obligations that you need to attend to. A smaller plant collection, you'll actually have a greater likelihood of being able to pay attention to things such as watching the process of new leaves coming out, noticing when your plants are growing, noticing when your plants start to push out inflorescences, noticing when your Hoyas are pushing peduncles, not missing when things happen. I find that with the amount of plants that I currently have, I don't have as much mental bandwidth to notice all of those things. And sometimes it's fun because it's like a surprise, like, oh, I had no idea that this plant was getting ready to push a leaf, and pop, there it is. But then on the other hand, I find that things just get neglected as well. The other day, I realized I hadn't opened my grow tent in 3 days. Fortunately, there's a fan in there and it's all kind of self-sustaining, but I looked inside and I was like, whoa, things in here look different. I didn't even get a chance to enjoy it. So that is just my little 2 cents on that. No shade to anyone who has a mega collection. In fact, mad props to anyone who is taking care of a collection in the triple digits who feels like none of the points that I made in this video apply to them. Give yourself a round of applause because that is no easy feat. And my guess is if you are succeeding at that level with that many plants, then you must be a master of efficiency and automation. And you should share your secrets in the comments. But yeah, I definitely have a little bit of nostalgia for the days when I had fewer plants, but at the same time, I don't have that many that I would really want to get rid of or let go of. So it is kind of a double-edged sword, but here's to hoping that I will be able to move and have a little bit more space soon. Thank you so much for chilling with me. Once again, congratulations to our giveaway winner. And with that, I will see you in my next one. Bye.